Emma stared at the plate in front of her. Crispy wings, golden fries. Her stomach twisted with hunger, but she shook her head, pushing it away. "I'm fine," she murmured. Oliver barely reacted. He just crossed his arms and tilted his head slightly. "You don't look fine." Emma exhaled sharply, pressing her fingertips to her temple. "I'm just..." She sighed. "It's been a long day." "Which is why you should eat," Oliver said simply. She didn't answer, eyes flicking toward the door as if Lucas would suddenly walk back in with some perfect excuse for why he had left her sitting there, looking stupid. Oliver watched her, expression unreadable. "You know, if you're worried about me poisoning it, I can order you another plate." Emma let out a soft, humorless laugh, but before she could protest again, Oliver waved down the bartender. "Hey, another order of wings and fries," he said. Emma turned to him, brow furrowing. "You really don't have to do that." "I know." He leaned back in his seat. "But I'm gonna anyway." She stared at him. He wasn't smug or pushy about it, just calm, steady. And God, the food smelled so good. She hesitated, then finally gave in, reaching for a fry. The first bite nearly made her groan, salty, still warm, perfect. Oliver took a slow sip of his drink, watching in quiet disbelief as she ate. Of all the nights, of all the moments, he had actually been in the right place at the right time. For years he had been nothing but a shadow in the background of her life, watching from the edges, always too late or too distant to be anything more. And now, here she was, eating his food, sitting next to him, completely unaware of who he was. The universe had a twisted sense of humor, but Emma wasn't thinking about Oliver. She was still stuck on Lucas. She replayed the evening over and over in her mind, trying to piece together where it had gone wrong. They had been laughing, flirting. He had held her hand, and then nothing, just gone. No warning, no explanation. "An emergency," the bartender had said. Right. Oliver cleared his throat, attempting small talk. "So, you from around here?" She barely looked up from her food. "Mm-hmm." Do you come to this bar often?" She nodded absently, swirling a fry in the ketchup. Sometimes." Oliver's grip tightened around his glass. She wasn't even trying to hold a conversation. He might as well be a ghost sitting next to her. He could have laughed at the irony of it. So he tried again. "The guy you were with?" Emma immediately tensed, but covered it quickly, grabbing her drink. "What about him?" Oliver shrugged. Just curious. He took off pretty quick." Emma didn't hesitate. "Oh, it's his mom." Oliver raised an eyebrow. "His mom?" Emma fumbled for something, anything. There was an emergency, he had to go." Oliver kept his face neutral. "That's so?" "Yeah." Emma forced a smile. "We've been together for almost a year. He's great. Things are great." Oliver stayed silent for a moment, letting her words settle between them. She was lying. He knew exactly who Lucas was. They worked together. He had watched Lucas flirt with every woman in the office, had seen him play his games, and he knew, without a doubt, that Lucas had never been in a relationship with Emma. But instead of admitting the truth, she would rather lie to a stranger than face the fact that a guy had abandoned her without a second thought. Oliver swallowed hard, forcing down the bitterness that threatened to rise in his throat. He could call her out. He could tell her the truth. But instead, he just nodded, offering the smallest, most painful smile of his life. "Yeah," he said. "He seems great."